Hello, Anthony. This is Miss Strother, and here is your screencast, your very first of your essay. So, I'm not going to actually start in Google Docs or Google Drive as we have here, partially because it'll be easier for me to use Word to show you how to do some things, but also because it's looking to me from your revision history right here that you have only ever worked on it once, and I know that's not true. So something else is going on. So I'm going to go straight into Word, get started. And the first thing that I can see when I'm starting to grade a paper is that you have a pretty good heading here. Anthony Burke, World Literature, Miss Strother. I generally prefer that it has this format of date, but it doesn't actually matter in the end, especially not for your grade. And then what you want to do is go ahead and take your title and make it centered. In Word, and also I believe, let's check, in Google Docs you can push Control E. Nope, not in Google Docs, but in Google Docs you can. It's not letting me. There we go. In Google Docs you can click that button and it will put you in the center. Okay, your job to do that. Now, the other thing that I do is I go through and kind of glance at what kinds of things I see already. And I can tell that you have 2 pages, which means that you haven't finished writing it. You're missing some paragraphs, or you don't have enough quotations. So let's get started right up at the top, and I'm just going to grade you on what you've turned in because this is my time to grade your essay. So this is how you started. The world is filled with gender roles that have made it into world literature. So are you trying to say that there are gender roles in every country and every culture? Or are you trying to say that the world is literally filled with roles, filled with gender roles? I might consider making that a little more specific so that it doesn't sound super broad and strange. Okay, and then this is the affix. Is every time you use it as a verb, meaning that it's doing something, you want to do it with the A. Okay, it affects the way people view others from specific groups or backgrounds. So maybe you want to combine your first sentence with your second sentence so that it makes a little bit more sense. Maybe you want to use that as part of your definition. That would be great, but you got to have a definition of your theme in there, which would be gender roles. Okay, the theme of gender roles has an impact on literature in the Circuit, the Odyssey, and in Oedipus Rex. I would take this out because the last sentence of your introduction must be your thesis. Not only is that standard, but it's also in your rubric. The other thing you want to pay attention to is that because it feels natural because it's a theme to go ahead and capitalize that, but it really shouldn't be. Okay, bigger issue here, and I changed this on your thesis statement when you submitted it. You just want to pay attention. The Circuit is not italicized because it is a short story. So you would put the comma inside. The Odyssey is a long story. It is actually an epic poem. Therefore, it is italicized with no quotation marks. Oedipus Rex, on the other hand, is short. It is actually a play, and so therefore it will never be italicized. It will always have quotation marks around it. Okay, so check out that yellow paper for ways to improve upon and really truly have an introduction to your topic here. Okay, again, make sure you are indenting, pushing the tab button. Instead of spaces, you just push tab once. That's what you should do. Okay, and again, don't capitalize that. And fix what you've got here. The theme of gender roles has an impact on literature in the Circuit. Okay, this story is about a migrant family that is moving to Fresno. Each person has a specific role in the moving to perform so everything runs smoothly. That is very good background information or supporting evidence. Mama fed my little brothers and sister. Papa and Roberto then brought in the mattress. Now, when you do what you call a parenthetical, in parentheses, in text citation, you do it this way. You have your quote, you have your page number in quotation marks, and then your period. This quote clearly shows how this family ascribes to stereotypical gender roles. The mom feeds the kids. We're going to fix this so it's lowercase because you're not beginning a new sentence. And this is not a completely new phrase, and therefore you would not use a semicolon. You would just use a comma. Maybe you would say instead, the mom feeds the kids while the father and older brother do the heavy lifting. That's great. Okay, no odyssey. That's something you're going to have to do. Okay. The theme of gender roles, we're fixing those, has an impact on literature in Oedipus, also fixing that. In the story of Oedipus, an old blind man named Oedipus came to Theseus to ask if he could stay in his kingdom and die in peace, but nobody wanted him in their kingdom because he was pursued by the Furies. Oedipus told his life story. Queen Jocasta was much older than Oedipus, but she was still beautiful. Okay, this is not actually an intro to this particular quote, because this quote is just about Queen Jocasta, and we have no idea yet how she is related to Oedipus. It doesn't say that anywhere in here, and the fact that it says she was much older than he was, you really need to give some sort of intro right before the quote about what that is. This proves the thesis by showing that Queen Jocasta must be beautiful because she's a woman and a queen no matter what. Okay, where are the gender roles in this situation? What is the impact on the story? Because this is really powerful. It is a really powerful piece. So you want to add on to that. Now, the other thing is you do need to have 2 quotes per body paragraph. And you really need to focus on that analysis. Showing how it fits gender roles is one thing. That's level 1. Where you are, you really need to be focusing on how this evidence really shows that it has an impact on literature. Okay. All right, I am down to your conclusion. The theme of gender roles has an impact on literature. In the first paragraph about the circuit, what is it? The first paragraph... yeah, you're not talking about... You shouldn't be talking about your own writing. You should be talking about the circuit itself. The circuit shows stereotypical gender roles between mother and father in a migrant family, farming family, and how the mother takes care of the kids and the father goes to work in the Odyssey. Fix that. The queen stays most loyal to her king. Maybe you can say, but she also has no power without her king. Oedipus says the Jocastus. Okay, so let's be more clear about how that has an impact on gender roles. And you need a conclusion sentence. So come see me once you have written these and you have some ideas about what you would like to write, and I can go ahead and look at those. But for the most part, you really need to put in probably about 2 or 3 hours just to add on to this essay before the final due date. Okay, you could do it. You've got this, Anthony. You just have to work at it. All right.